The best Nespresso machine 2024, top coffee machines from Nespresso. Consider one of the best Nespresso machines, if you care about quality as much as convenience. Traditional coffee makers are more fuss, while other options that use pods don't quite offer the same level of quality. And, if you're a coffee lover like us, you want the convenience, but not at the expense of a good cup of joe. When it comes to single-serve coffee, Nespresso machines are hard to beat, as they rank among the best coffee makers and best espresso machines for that purpose. While that's partially due to the fact that there's a wide range of flavors available, with plenty constantly being added, it also helps that Nespresso offers a wide range of machines. You can thank Magimix, Sage, Krups, and others for that, as they also make some great machines that use Nespresso pods. Beyond just brands, you can find models with steam wands that can conjure up cappuccino or ones that press out a cold brew on top of the usual single-serve hot coffee makers. If you've been on the prowl for an espresso machine, you know there's a lot to choose from. Luckily, we've put a number of them through their paces, testing coffee quality, ease of use, cleanup, and price in this video. So, using our expertise and hands-on experience, we've collected what we think are the best Nespresso machines. Since no one has the exact same needs, there is a variety of options to choose from so you can find the right one for you. 1. Nespresso VertuoPlus Coffee, an espresso machine by Delony. I have always held a distrust of pod coffee makers, having only really interacted with cheaper models. The Nespresso Vertuo Plus changed all that, with an undeniably tasty cup brewed with elegance, time after time. This is some of the smoothest coffee I've been able to produce in my own kitchen, with a rich flavor and silky texture that I haven't come across in an at-home brewer before. That smoothness stems from the unique centrifusion brewing technique employed here. While it does take a little longer than standard pump machines, it's spending that time producing a far better cup of coffee. Plus, the whole process still only takes around 2 minutes from start to finish. This machine does favor those who prefer black coffee, as larger alto sizes certainly don't leave too much room for milk, and the aforementioned lack of a built-in steamer means you'll be relying on separate purchases for specialty drinks. However, if you do prefer your coffee pure, the Vertuo Plus does a good job of maintaining individual flavor notes, even if they're not quite as pronounced as a more premium espresso machine. The Nespresso Vertuo Plus is the brand's best machine to date, and even though there are concerns around being locked into the brand's expensive pods, that's the price you pay for a convenient brewing system packed with luxurious features. If you want the ease of a pod machine, but don't want to sacrifice the quality of your coffee, there aren't really any options outside of Nespresso's lineup. 2. Nespresso Grandlatissima Original Espresso Machine with Milk Frother. The Grandlatissima takes Nespresso's signature one-touch brewing to the next level by offering an impressive 9 drink options. Users can select a shot of espresso in 3 different sizes or several milk-based drinks like lattes, cappuccinos, latte macchiatos, and flat whites. After testing the machine firsthand, we found it was super versatile and easy to tell what drink you're choosing because of the labeled buttons and LED display. Another benefit of the Grandlatissima is how quickly it brews. This is true for most Nespresso makers, but the speed is especially notable here considering the variety and complexity of drink options. It took just 20 seconds for an espresso shot and 50 seconds for a cappuccino. We also found its heat-up time second fastest out of the 11 machines we tested. Once finished with your coffee, cleanup is simple thanks to the item's self-cleaning function, which forces steam and hot water through the milk spout. Nespresso recommends using the cleaning function after every use. The rapid cappuccino system requires a little more upkeep. Instructions say to remove it from the machine, disassemble its 6 parts, and place them in the dishwasher or wash them by hand. Some users report that the milk spout drips for a while after use, but we didn't come across this issue. One last detail to consider is the Grandlatissima's price. It's more expensive than most Nespresso machines, but we think the convenience and versatility make it worth the money for those interested in a long-term, top-of-the-line coffee maker. 3. Nespresso Pixie Espresso Machine. If you're tightly restricted on countertop space, then the Nespresso Pixie by Krups is the answer to your single-serve coffee wishes. On test, our reviewer found that the Pixie was very easy to use and offered a hassle-free way of making a morning coffee.
It took on average 25 to 30 seconds to preheat, and an espresso took just 15 seconds to pour. We were really impressed with the thick crema that the machine consistently produced, too, which resulted in a coffee tasting neither burnt nor overly bitter.
A favorite feature of ours on the Nespresso Pixie is that upon removing the drip tray, it reveals an integrated bin for 10 used capsules. It's easily removed for emptying and cleaning. Additional cleaning is occasionally required to rinse the bin and drip tray, but that's about it, so there's not too much washing by hand to do, although it would be useful if you could pop the parts into the dishwasher. As with all coffee makers, a decal will be required to help maintain the machine after every 1,000 capsules. 4. Breville Nespresso Creatista Plus.
The Creatista Plus is a premier model among Nespresso makers. In addition to making an excellent brew, we came away with high praise for the integrated milk frother after we made a variety of drinks with it. There are 11 settings to adjust the milk temperature and 8 options for milk texture. The microfoam is rich and fluffy, wonderful for perfecting your latte art. We also found the foam thicker than that produced by a comparable Nespresso machine, the Creatista Pro. Along with the advanced technology comes a high-end look, one reminiscent of manual espresso machines, but much easier to use. Simply choose the drink you want, from ristretto, espresso, lungo, latte, cappuccino, flat white, or latte macchiato. Adjust the serving size, then select your milk temperature and texture from the digital menu. The water heats up in 3 seconds, which is unheard of compared to most espresso machines, so you'll be sipping in no time. Not only is this smart enough to turn you into a kitchen barista, but it also lets you know when it's time to clean and decal the machine with its self-cleaning function. This is one of the most expensive Nespresso makers, though, so you could explore non-pod-based espresso machines in a similar, if not cheaper, price range.
5. L'Or Barista System Coffee and Espresso Machine Combo by Philips.
The Philips L'Or Barista Sublime is one of the latest Nespresso machines to be launched. Its USP is that it is double-spouted, meaning that it can make 2 drinks at the same time. It also accepts the new and exclusive L'Or Barista XXL capsules, which contain double the amount of coffee than the smaller capsules. Our reviewer found that this pod coffee machine was easy to use and produced delicious results. The machine does come with a selection box of 9 capsule samples, which is plenty to get going, although we would have preferred some more decaf options, and each one did not disappoint. The most useful out of the 3 settings we found was Lungo because it suited our 350 milliliters mugs the best. There are a couple of things that the Philips L'Or Barista Sublime is missing for us. The first is that there is no integrated milk frother with this model of L'Or coffee machine. And the second point to make is that you would struggle to make more than 2 cups or mugs of coffee quickly and on demand.
6. Nespresso VertuoPlus Deluxe Coffee and Espresso Machine by Breville.
Compact and reasonably priced, the Pop Plus is the ideal Nespresso maker for coffee lovers trying to save space in the kitchen or money in their wallet. It measures just 8.6 inches wide, which is significantly smaller than an average coffee maker, let alone an average espresso machine. The Pop Plus is also extremely lightweight, weighing 8 pounds, so it's easy to move around, especially when it's time to clean the countertops. Despite its small size, we found the coffee in line with Nespresso's signature strength and flavor. The Pop Plus offers 5 different drink sizes ranging from a single espresso shot to a 12-ounce coffee. All drinks can brewed hot or over ice. Not too shabby for one of the cheapest machines Nespresso sells. One of our only complaints, and a surprising one, in fact, is that the Pop Plus is slightly louder when brewing than most Nespresso makers we tested. Luckily, Nespresso makers are quieter than typical electric brewing devices, so the Pop Plus is not loud overall.
This is a really good option for single folks and for Nespresso beginners. It's super easy to set up and use, and it makes a lovely coffee with a thick crema. The ability to pour into larger mugs is also handy for anyone who wants to grab and go on the way to work or school. However, its compact size means it's a little limited in what it can do. You can only make 1 coffee at a time, and the water tank is only big enough to make 2 mugs of coffee, one after the other.